Judging from the internet's response in China, 正午阳光 succeeded. Hello, you're watching Avenue X, where junkie on good storytelling shares her thoughts, knowledge, and occasional weird ideas on stories and how they're told. 开端 Reset is a 15-episode web drama that's being aired on the platform Tencent. It is produced by 正午阳光 Daylight Entertainment, directed by 孙墨龙、刘宏元、老算, led by 白敬亭、赵今麦, also 刘奕君、黄觉, and many other very familiar people if you watch a lot of 正午阳光 productions. The drama is based on a web novel called 开端, the same name, written by Qi Daojun. It comes from Jinjiang, which is a female reader-oriented website that has produced many very well-known web novels such as Guardian. This original author is a lady, and she is also one of the 4 credited scriptwriters. The drama started production in the city Xiamen June last year. Took them exactly 2 months to film. So 60 days to 15 episodes, that means 4 days per episode, which is super slow for Chinese dramas. If you average out production time in Chinese dramas, particularly contemporary dramas, often you get less than 2 days per episode. So this means the production team spent a lot of time figuring out the details and make sure they have a high quality production. Since this drama is really short, it will finish airing next week. I did argue again whether I should wait till the end, but I can't. I have to make it now to be able to catch people who haven't watched it yet. And I would highly encourage and recommend you chase this drama as it airs. I think it will feel different if you're chasing it instead of you wait till the end. Everything is wrapped and internet is filled with spoilers. Wouldn't be the same experience. I'll give it a 2.5 rating right now, leaving that 0.5 to the let's see the next 7 episodes and hopefully the ending doesn't crash. If the ending is good enough, satisfying enough, this would be a 3 gold mine drama. Also, I will not spoil this drama for you as I'm going through every point I need to make in this video. I'm only gonna tell you the setup and how it starts because that's in the trailer. You kind of have to know what it is to watch it. Then all the details, I'll leave it for you to discover. This is a very rare drama in Chinese dramaland, 无限流. That's the current popular word to describe it in Chinese. Literally means indefinite flow, time loop. And we have a lot of films and television series and all kinds of novels in this genre, globally speaking. And it's been a long tradition actually, nothing new, such as Groundhog Day. You obviously have the source code, which people talk about most because its setup is quite similar to Reset. But for Chinese dramaland, you almost have nothing that's ever been done in this genre. There was a web drama previously, a couple of years ago, that has this similar concept of time looping thing, but it wasn't very well known. This is a rare thing for Chinese dramaland and particularly being done by 正午阳光. So ever since day 1 of this production announcing its existence, I was curious to see what would come out of it. Seemingly old-fashioned, traditional, professional production company with a very popular web novel-ish, young people oriented, and often used in anime type of story. Judging from the internet's response in China, 正午阳光 succeeded. And they really showed people when you know how to tell good stories and you have a proper strong team and you have experiences and you have enough respect for your story, really there's no limit of genres. Without spoiling it for you, only talking about what shows up in the trailer, the 2 main leads, played by Bai Jingting and Zhao Jingmai, are 2 young people in their early 20s, ended up on a bus they've never met before, and then they both died. In an explosion that happened on this bus. They realize when they die, they come back over and over again. So they figure their task is to find out what happens on the bus and how to stop it. Because no matter what they try, even if they get off the bus, if they didn't manage to stop the explosion, they will restart it when the clock strikes 24 on the midnight. So that's everything about this drama, okay? Not gonna say anything more about it. Let's talk about the good things about this drama. First, starting from the most obvious thing, this is a very good production quality overall production. It comes from 正午阳光. You know it's not gonna be problematic in pretty much every in any department. No skin smoothing, actor's own voice, no dubbing. Mostly sounds like live recording. It may have some kind of ADR cleaning up later or changing a couple of lines because, censorship and stuff. It's the type of production that, because every department does its professional job, when you're watching the end product, you don't get irritated or distracted by obvious bad professionally done work. You just only focus on the story. Second good thing, casting choices and good acting. They know exactly who they're looking for to be able to shoulder the storytelling, the perfect actor, actresses for each role. Whether it's the main leads, Bai Jinting and Zhao Jinmai, or the main supporting roles, such as Huang Jue, Liu Yijun, occasionally showing up Liu Tao, who really doesn't have that much screen time, but still does the role pretty well, or the more peripheral supporting roles, such as all the passengers on the bus. They make every role convincing for you. With the actor's own ability good enough, and then the director just making sure they get what they want for each scene and each milestone of the storytelling. It's such a smooth and comfortable watching experience. The third great thing about this drama is when they adapted it from the text version to the drama version, they changed a lot of details. In the original story, the most important thing obviously is for the two leads to figure out how to stop the explosion, and most of the other supporting roles involved are used as tools to get to the end goal. But once it got adapted to the screen version, to avoid making every other passenger looking like a tool, just for the narrative purpose, they expanded greatly for each individual and their background story. Each time when they loop, different things happen, you get to know more of those people's background story. It just enriches the story so much more and give the main characters more motivation for them to decide to suffer over and over, dying in an explosion so that they can save these people who they've never met. So this definitely is an added thing for the drama only that doesn't exist in the book. And in terms of adaptation, a well done adaptation. Fourth thing, most importantly, this definitely qualifies as a rather well written story of this genre. Time loop, having a mystery, having imminent threat, trying to figure out who is the bad guy, logical thinking, a lot of analyzing, a lot of adventure and thriller, all that. If you've watched this drama up to episode 6, you may think it's okay, pretty good, but hasn't had that moment that's gonna hit your heart like that. By episode 8, you'll get it. Once you've watched that many episodes, if you go back and rewatch, you will start to see how many clues they've laid already and never really told the audiences. It's really up to you to find out, and it makes perfect sense in their story setup. For Chinese dramas, when it comes to logic, it's one of its greatest weakness. But in the end of daylight entertainment, you are safe as an audience member. So, is there anything that's not good about this drama? Well, if I have to force myself to say, I wish they could do even more daring thing with this production, adding a little bit strong look or vibe to it. They're telling it as a very normal story with their camera language, its style, it feels very normal. Whereas when you have this very edgy and unusual and not sci-fi, but time loop, it's not normal, okay? If they can be more daring in terms of visual style, atmospherical things, basically, that can come from a production. If we only use Chinese drama and productions as comparison, for example, Tianjin Mystic, it has a very strong style, very unique, and you don't see it in any other dramas pretty much. Would be really cool if they can be more daring in the style of the storytelling, not changing the essential things of the plot, but just adding a little bit extra flavoring, which can play on the psychological level of the audiences, is not being very strongly, let's say, explored and exploited potentially from this topic. Maybe it is to do with 正午阳光 really is a company that does mostly very realistic, grounded, serious, whether it's contemporary or historical period drama, they are very really old school storytellers. But it's just like I force myself to add this point on, and if it had that, probably it will be even more sexier. But without it, it's still a great story. It's not that essential. So I hope by this point I've convinced you to check out this drama now. Now, don't wait till next week when it finishes airing. Now! one extra point to add at the end of the video. There is interview online about the original author and the process of how she got involved in making this production. It shows good story happens because first, it's done by professional people who know what they're doing. Second, they really respect the story. So the scriptwriting team that got credited have 4 people involved. One of them is one of the 3 directors, Lao Suan. The other 2 are scriptwriters who have worked on previous projects from Zhongwu Yangguang, such as Shanhai Qing, Yu Huan Shui, Dajiang Dahe, most of the well-known projects. Then it is the original author who wrote the novel. While they were working pre-production on the script, the rest of the crew live in a normal standard hotel while she was given a 5-star hotel room because they were like, you are the scriptwriter. You need to be living in a good environment and, get all those things sorted out so you can focus on your work. And they have intense meetings trying to figure out all the details of this drama because logic and things linking together making sense is so important for this project. And also because this author only wrote novels before, she never wrote scripts. So when you adapt text to screen, there's a lot of things you need to be aware of. Certain things you cannot write it in the same way as you write novels. If it's all internal monologue, it's not gonna work on screen. So you have to externalize it. And then think about editing, think about pacing and all those things. And she's never taught in that. So literally the production taught her step by step. And they have all those meetings and talks about how we take this chunk to the screen, what we need to make change on because now it's visual. She's super happy that she's taken part in this project, had her story turned into a visual production. In the process, she got money, she got treated very well, she learned how to write script and got really impressed by how professional entire production team of Zhongwu Yangguang is. They literally have storyboard for every scene, for every episode. It doesn't happen for most of the Chinese dramas, particularly really crappy contemporary dramas. When you read that interview, you just feel, wouldn't it be nice if every drama production company in China is like this? Imagine how many better dramas, good dramas we're gonna have. In a way, this is how proper productions should be done. But it has become almost extinct in Chinese dramaland. How sad. I've said a lot already. If you haven't watched Kaiduan Reset, go and watch it. Catch it before it ends. By the end of it, you probably will really like the 2 leads. If you haven't previously fallen for Bai Jingting or Zhao Jingmai. It also shows, even though today Chinese dramaland's environment is really bad, there are still very talented young people out there. Zhao Jingmai, for example, I think she is #1. When she got in Zhongxi, which is Central Academy of Drama in Beijing, great young actress. Bai Jingting, I think he finally got a really good drama. In the last couple of years, he's been in all kinds of dramas that didn't really go as far as people would hope they would, and he's been very hardworking. And this time, he got picked by Zhongwu Yangguang, and it's a tiny drama in terms of length, but I think this would be his first super explosion drama in his career. For people who do not already know him, this is the point they are gonna cut in and start to be aware of his presence. And also, because of the case-solving nature of this drama, sometimes he does remind you of what he does in the Mango television variety show Who is the Murderer, in which he's been a detective for a lot of times. It will remind you of his performance in a couple of episodes. I'm rambling again. Go and watch this drama. Thank you for watching Up New X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.